Hey guys, it is NCS Fan 001 here for another one of those weekly trophy list update videos. I'm recording this one definitely a little bit later in the day than I am used to. It's past 6 p.m. on the Monday night. Today's date is, of course, Monday, April 13th, 2020, so this will have covered the week of April 6th through 12th of 2020. So I definitely have a few things to talk about for this week of everything that was going on for me this past week. And it hasn't been particularly positive in the gaming world. I've had a few things that definitely got on my nerves in the gaming and technology world. First of all, there's a reason I didn't stream or really do anything or even get to record any videos during this past week, because my adapter thing, it's an adapter that you have to plug into the MacBook Pro in order to have an HDMI and a USB port. It decided to stop working. So yeah, that caused a big problem, because thanks to the ongoing virus, half the places aren't even open that would sell one, and the other ones are so crazy and packed, and then even Amazon took forever to get it here, so it was not a pleasant experience getting another one, but thankfully I have one now, so I can start recording and streaming again, no thanks to the virus. But anyway, that being out of the way, the other issue I had this week was I actually went back to Borderlands Game of the Year Edition, and I gotta rant a little bit about this here because I am not happy with what happened here. Let's see if we can go down and find it. Where are you? Where are you? You're one of the few incompletes on the list anymore. There it is, Borderlands Game of the Year Edition. For those who don't know, Mad Moxie's Underdome Riot is a broken piece of shit. And basically, the reason for that is, this first trophy is extremely easy. All you have to do is complete the Lesser Challenge in the 3 Colosseums. It's survived 25 waves of enemies. None of them are very difficult. So this trophy's easy. It only takes like 30 to 40 minutes per Colosseum, and there's 3 of them total. So that's not a problem at all. That one's nice and easy. Nothing to worry about there. The problem is, the larger challenges have been borderline impossible to do, at least legitimately, ever since the game came out. Because what'll happen is, when you get to around round 17 of 20, and by the way, each round has 5 waves to it, so you have to survive 100 waves of enemies to get through these. When you get to those higher rounds, the game has an absurdly high tendency to crash on you for no reason. Now, it's well known that the reasoning behind it is the amount of body parts that get stuck on screen, to where the only potential fix, if you're not using a modded weapon, is to use fire and corrosive weapons only to try to get rid of the body parts. Now, I actually did manage to complete the Gully back when the game came out. It's been almost a year. Actually, it has been like right at a year since the game came out. I got through this one, and I actually completed it, but the game crashed upon fast traveling out. But at the very least, I completed this one, so I only have 2 left, so I'm thankful that it's technically a third of the way done. But I was playing Hellburbia, this is the second one you're supposed to play, and the game crashed, but not on round 17 where it can start. No, it crashed on round 20, wave 2. I was 5-ish minutes away from being done. 3 hours down the freaking drain. And I'm not even gonna... I haven't even tried this one yet. I have no intention to. I think this is like the worst one because it's so big, and the real like white color one, I think it has the Guardians in it too. And then this trophy's earned for completing all 3 of the larger Colosseums, which would be unlocked at the same time as you complete these. So the problem is that they have known that this was broken since the day the game released. Well, not the day the game released, but like within a week of the game releasing, they had known that this was broken and potentially unplayable for most players. And this is a PlayStation 4 exclusive issue. This does not happen on any other version of the game. It is only on PS4. So not only have they outright refused to actually fix it despite acknowledging it, but they didn't even have the common decency to make it so that the trophies auto-pop when you import your PS3 character that already suffered through all this. Because the thing is, it's extremely easy to do because you can set up a second controller as the main character in it that is below level 12, and then just have them sit in a corner the whole time, and it'll make all the enemies really low leveled, so nothing's difficult to kill. It just takes an absurd amount of time to get through. So it's not difficult. It's just horribly time consuming, and I'm even with all the lockdown and stuff going on, I'm not about to spend another 3 hours on this just to get to round 20 to have the game crash on round 20. So what I'm going to do with this is, I never thought I would have to do this, but I am actually going to be submitting a Better Business Bureau complaint because I am really pissed off about that. Like, if it hadn't have crashed on round 20, maybe I wouldn't have been as pissed that close to the end, but I am going to submit a complaint about this because they've known about this since the beginning, but have refused to fix it. So I'm going to ask them to either try to get whoever made this remake to either actually fix the issue or to change the requirements of the Colosseums or trophies so that it's actually possible to complete earlier without the game running into the issue of crashing. Because I did it having my alt stare at a wall the entire time. I used almost exclusively a fire weapon to do everything, and it still happened. So I don't know why I don't know why that wasn't enough, or why they couldn't have just fixed something with this. Because I don't want this sitting here incomplete. Because again, it's not hard, it just takes way too much time. So if you guys would like to join me in issuing a couple of Better Business Bureau complaints, I would be greatly appreciative if you wish to help out with that. But now we are on to the good news of the week, and that is the trophy progress, which was pretty significant overall. I didn't get any platinums purely because I couldn't record any platinums this week because of, you know, the whole thing I talked about earlier with not having the adapter. So, first of all, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, 100% complete. I never thought I'd see this happen. Like, I always knew I could get it up into the 90s, but I never thought I'd get it to 100%. Because this is not an easy 100%. The Platinum isn't particularly easy either, but the 100% is a whole nother thing entirely. So the only two DLCs I had trophies left to get in were Vengeance and Apocalypse. Apocalypse is the Origins map, which is the epitome of the game, like, in terms of its difficulty and everything. The good thing is, I had someone carry my butt through the whole thing, so that's how I got through it. I would not have gotten through it otherwise, but thankfully I had actually two guys carrying my butt through the whole thing. I mean, I had a few trophies previously, like these two that are easy. The Easter egg is very long, very complicated, takes absolutely forever. There's no bank on the map, there's no weapons locker. So, thankfully, that person, or those actually two people, knew exactly what they were doing and basically carried me through the Easter egg. And we got a lot of the trophies within like 2 to 3 total games. This trophy is actually very easy. You just have to shoot the little red glowing thing in the Panzer Soldat's claw when you're being pulled into it, and then just damage it while it's holding on to one of your teammates. So that's actually very easy. I'm surprised I never got that one before, but it does require 2 players. You could. And another thing is, we found out, or especially I found out at least, that you can do all these other trophies on easy, which I didn't actually know you could do for Origins. I knew you could for the other maps, but I didn't know you could for Origins. Activating all the generators without allowing one to stop, that's very easy. Just activate all 6 generators. It's probably going to come naturally. This one's very easy as well. You just need a shovel and find a weapon. Build all the elemental staffs, and getting all of the ultimate staffs are both required as part of the Easter egg, which took us around 3 to 4 hours to complete of playing, which is completely insane that it's that long of a challenge. I mean, it's just so much effort you have to put into just one Easter egg. And I mean, thankfully we got lucky and didn't get screwed over by the robots glitching, like with the shooting into the foot and getting inside glitching out on us or anything. Thankfully we didn't run into that problem, or else we would have been really screwed. That's the elemental staffs, but there's 4 of them you have to build, and they're very complicated to build and upgrade. Well, they're not horrible to build, at least not all of them are. Staying on the tank without getting off, I did a long time ago. I don't remember it being particularly hard if you do it on like an early round on easy difficulty. Revive another player 4 different ways. I was actually wrong on this. You have to do it with quick revive, regular revive, not zombie blood. Zombie blood does not count for this particular trophy. It's for the next one only. So you have those 2 ways, then you have to use the Maxis drone, and you have to use an ultimate staff. So thankfully we got through that, but yeah, that was not fun. Well, actually, no, it didn't take us 4 hours to do the Easter egg, because we did 2 or 3 total games to get everything. I don't really remember how many games or how long exactly it took, but it took a long time. This one's actually pretty easy as long as you can get zombie blood reliably. Just use it. You can revive the same player 3 times by just having them let themselves go down 3 times in a row and activate a generator in a different zombie blood. So that's actually pretty easy. The challenges aren't too hard either. It's just getting 115 headshots, spending 30,000 points, and what's the last? Activate all 6 generators. And there's one other challenge, but I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. So overall, if you have someone carrying your way through this, then it comes down purely to you having the skill to do it, which thankfully I have slightly enough zombie skill to get through this kind of stuff. But we got through it in just a couple of tries, so it wasn't the worst thing in the world. I mean, I'd still put this DLC at around like a 6 to 7 out of 10, even if you're getting carried through it, because you still have to be good enough at the game to stay alive and kill zombies and stuff and kind of know the map. But thankfully, it's done. And we also got through Vengeance, which I believe I already had I already had Mazed and Confused last week. So the only trophy I was missing was this one, Mind Games. We'll go through the others first. Acquiring a perk for free is very easy. Just go through the mansion when the lights are on, and you'll get a free perk once you complete it. Very easy. Access all areas. There's 8 doors he has to destroy. This is very easy. It's a great way to get points. 10 kills with a subsurface resonator. Nothing difficult there as long as you know how to build it. Give him candy, and you get this trophy. Nothing difficult about that at all. This trophy is actually very easy if you know how to do it. It's just a little bit tedious because you have to have Big Boy, Leroy the Giant, whatever you want to call him, destroy enough walls and plant enough weapons chalks that you have enough points to pack a punch. And you also have to get through the mansion without getting hit by anything, or else you're pretty much done for on that. So it just takes some time. This is actually required as part of the Easter egg, but I got it a long time ago, obviously, because it's quite easy. In fact, I got 8 of these 10 trophies in one day, like the day the map came out or the first day I played it. Surviving an entire round in the maze on round 20 or higher, like I said, this only took us 1 or 2 tries to get. It's very easy as long as you only have 1 entrance to the maze. You can also plant either the trample steam or the subsurface resonator in that one long hallway, and that leads up to the entrance of the maze, or not the entrance of the maze, to the entrance of the fountain in the center of the maze, and that's all you have to do because that'll kill like half the zombies for you. So it's really not that hard if you know what you're doing and have a decent weapon. This one you have to jump up to the LSAT with 2,000 points and pick it up. You have to get a little bit lucky to be able to pick it up, but it's not difficult. And this one's pretty tough to miss. You just have to destroy the fountains and jump through the fountain in the maze. This Easter egg, good lord, this one is not fun. It's nowhere near as overall difficult or as complicated as Origins, but it has one stupidly difficult step right at the end. Because basically all you have to do is, if you are doing the Richtofen side, which I recommend because it's easier, you build the guillotine, then you... Okay, so yeah, you build the guillotine, you charge the orbs, knock down the lantern, charge the lantern, solve the ciphers, which is the same on both sides, lead the wisp to the guillotine, then use the time bomb to go into infinity mode and pick up the switch, place it on the guillotine, go into the maze and find the switches in the correct order. All of those steps are very easy. That's not going to give most players any trouble. The difficulty, of course, comes from the final step, the sharpshooter part of the Easter egg, which is terrible. I don't know why they thought it was a good idea. It requires you to shoot between your whole team 84 targets that pop up in specific places. Some of them move around in 4 areas around the map, and you have to hit every single target in the same run. It's just a freaking nightmare. That step took us absolutely forever. Like, I knew all the steps of the Easter egg, as did at least a couple of the other people in the group, and that step still took over an hour for us to do because it's so unforgiving. It's so punishing. You have to play perfectly, and all 4 people have to play perfectly at once, which is just fantastic. So that was not a fun experience, but we did get through it, thankfully. I mean, I'm so glad to finally be done with this game. I mean, overall, the game, with all of its DLCs, is a solid 7 out of 10. If you already have the one unobtainable trophy, which is down here. Let's go see if we can find it. The League Play trophy, Big Leagues. This trophy is unobtainable, so if you don't already have this trophy, then don't even start the game because you won't be getting the Platinum or the 100%. But with that, I have now completed most of the Call of Duty games on the PS3 that only have one, at least all the ones that only have one version except for Call of Duty Classic, because I've done, well, I mean, I've done all 5 Modern Warfare games, including the 2 that are on PS3. So I've done all 5 Modern Warfares. I have done Black Ops 1 and 2. I've done World at War. I have not done Classic yet. I've got most of it done. I don't know when I'm going to go back to that ever. That's very low priority, though, because it's only single-player stuff. I've got the Platinum in both versions of Ghosts, as well as the PS4 version of Advanced Warfare, but I have not 100%ed any of those. Those are going to be my next 3 Call of Duty games to work on. And really, those are the main ones I need to work on now, because those are the oldest ones. And then, of course, Black Ops 3, I don't even have the Platinum yet, but I got all the online stuff done, so I only have the campaign stuff left and the DLC, so that's good. And then Infinite Warfare, I've got the Platinum done, but I've got a lot of DLC left. World War II, I don't have the Platinum done, nor am I even close on the DLC yet. But, I mean, I've made good progress on the Call of Duty franchise, and I'm proud of myself for the progress I have made, even though I haven't finished all of the really tough ones yet. I'm definitely slowly making some progress on them. So then, you see 2 Arcade Archives games here. I haven't played one of these in 3 to 4 years. I kind of forgot that I didn't forget they exist because I know that they still pop up constantly on PSN profiles for new lists, but I haven't played one in absolutely forever because they're way too pricey. They're usually $8 a piece. But I got these 2 during the spring sale for like $3 or $4 a piece, so I decided, hey, why not? It's been a long time. Need a couple of 100% this week while I can't record anything. So, Ninja Kid 2 is very easy. This one is not going to cause you any problems. You just have to open all the different menus. So, open up the options, display, the game settings, the button settings, scroll through all the pages of the manual, open up the online rankings. That is 6 of your 8 trophies with no difficulty, or 7 of your 9 trophies. I don't know why I said 8. So none of those trophies are difficult, but you do have to get a high score, which in this game is very easy. I don't remember what the high score was. I think it's 30,000 points. Once I understood how the game actually worked, because this one I think was still sort of written heavily in Japanese, so I didn't really know exactly what I was clicking on like the menus and stuff. But once I figured out how you actually play the game, it wasn't difficult at all. It took me about 10 minutes to get this 100%. And all the time wasted was purely my own fault for not understanding what I was supposed to do. So this is an extremely easy Arcade Archives game. Like I said, it takes less than 10 minutes. Nothing to worry about with this one. Mag Max was harder than I thought it would be. I definitely struggled with this one more than I expected. It's the same 7 initial trophies for opening everything and resetting the game and stuff. But I actually ended up having quite a bit of trouble getting this high score of 68,000 points. I don't know. I was just getting really unlucky or just really sucking at it because I'm not usually bad at this kind of a game. I just struggled with it a lot more than I thought, especially before I figured out that you can make interrupt save data to basically save scum your way through it as needed, and I did that a couple of times to save in favorable areas, so it's not too horribly difficult, obviously. I mean, it's extremely common. I mean, more than half of all players have it. But this is definitely a little bit harder than Ninja Kid 2, and it's one of the harder ones I played. It took me a solid half hour to get through. So I would say be a little bit more wary of this one, even though it's really still not that big a deal. So got that one done. That's another couple Arcade Archives games. I don't do these very often because a lot of them are, again, way too expensive, and a lot of them are just definitely trophy whore type games. But, you know, it's been 3 or 4 years. Why not hit it up when I can't record any Platinums for a few days, you know? So Chaos in Deponia and Air, for these 2, I'm going to talk about these more next week because I would have had the Platinums, but like I said, I couldn't record them until today. But I will say, all I'm missing on Chaos from Deponia is the last 2 trophies at the end of the story. I'm about 2 minutes away from the end at this point in time. Chaos on Deponia, this is a very easy Platinum. This is the EU version, by the way. I've done the North American version. This one, thankfully, did not glitch out on me the way that the North American version did with the collectibles. So, thankfully, I only had to do 1 playthrough, which was fine. Just follow a guide. It's really not too difficult. There are a lot of missable trophies, though, so you do have to be a little bit careful. Nothing really difficult, though, like a solid 2 out of 10 and 3 to 5 hours to get through, so nothing much to worry about with this one. AER, this is the European version of this as well. This is actually a nice little game. It's a little you could kind of say flight simulator almost, and the Platinum Trophy is extremely easy as long as you follow a guide. All I have left is the trophy for completing the game, which is going to take about another 5 minutes. So probably going to do both of those once I actually finish recording this video and getting it uploaded, but that's another very easy Platinum. Like, this one's like a 1.5 out of 10 if you're following a guide, and takes like 2 to 3 hours. The hardest part is trying not to get lost at times in the world, because it's a little bit tough to get around, but nothing too difficult. So with that, level 73, 2%. So went up another trophy level, 18,180 total trophies, 429 platinums, 2,440 golds, 4,786 silvers, 10,525 bronzes. So plans for the upcoming week. The main focus, I'm going to get done with those 2 games that I'm currently working on. I'll probably do a couple more platinums in there somewhere. Maybe I've got like 1 or 2 Radalaika games left that I currently need to do, so at some point. Then I need to start looking into, of course, Red Dead Redemption. That's the main one I want to work on, and as well as the 2 versions of Call of Duty Ghosts. So I just need to look for sessions available for those various games. I also wouldn't mind getting started on some more of Advanced Warfare at some point, but that's a little lower priority because it's a newer game. So yeah, the main focuses will definitely be Red Dead and the 2 versions of Call of Duty Ghosts, and possibly Battlefield 3, depending on if any sessions pop up for it. I'm trying to think that there was something else. Oh yeah, Borderlands Game of the Year, obviously, hoping that I can actually get them to do something about it. Like, if you want to submit a Better Business Bureau request along with me, that would actually, because one request might not do much, but 2 or 3 people saying it might make a difference, you know? It might make them actually have to listen for once, and I just want to get that fixed to where it's actually obtainable. If they still can't do anything, then I think the only way I'm going to be able to do it is the way that nearly everyone who has completed it did it, and that is to get a modded weapon from someone who played it on PS3 and brought a modded weapon over from PS3 that can insta-kill the bosses, because that glitches the rounds and makes them go significantly faster, and makes you not have to kill very many enemies, which therefore means no body parts on the ground, which therefore means the game won't crash. So that might, unfortunately, be the only way to do it if I can't get them to fix it, which I don't know if I will be able to. But I mean, it worked for Black Ops 3. You never know. Maybe there's a chance for it. You never know. I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, wish me luck with that, guys. And then finally, the only other game I need to mention real quick is that by the time, actually no, not quite by the time this is going up, but like a day after this goes up, the Fallout 76 Wastelanders expansion comes out. At the time this is being recorded, I don't know if it's going to have trophies. I wouldn't be surprised if it does, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it does not, because the other updates haven't had trophies. I really hope it doesn't, because if it doesn't, that means that the game's never going to get DLC trophies and I never have to touch it again. But you never know with Bethesda and Daddy Todd Howard over there, so you never really know what's going to happen. So hopefully it doesn't have DLC trophies. I really hope it doesn't, because I do not want to go back to that game ever again, but you never know what they want to do. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you for the next one.